You're watching Bub's Comics, Bub.
Hello YouTube, welcome to Bub's World. I'm your host Bub. Today we're going to get into some comics that I picked up just in general, just from all over. I don't exactly have, I can tell you where they're from, but that's not the point of the video. The point is I get a lot of people asking me why I don't show this side of the room. And the answer, quite honestly, was just because I didn't have a good way to do that. So now that I do, I'll do a few videos showing this side of the room as opposed to the opposite side that you all are used to seeing from my stationary desk setup that I usually set up. So this time we're going to do something a little different. Let me know what you think. But basically, here's a little sneak peek into old Bub's World here. So as you can see, here's my comic cabinet. And that is where a bulk of the comics will end up. But if you look just over here, you'll see a little pile of books right here. So that little pile of books, that's where, that's like my way station. That's where books come in. They get piled up here, especially the ones that I've not filmed or that I haven't done anything with yet. So they get piled up here, and then eventually, of course, they end up in the old comic cabinet. So yeah, everybody likes to see that. That's the money shot, the comic cabinet right there. So you get to see all these awesome books and things. And well, we can show this off some other time. Always fun to see good old-fashioned comics. And we've got this nice little up-close mode we can do here as well. So we'll check that out. All right, but the point is, here we have a bunch of comics that just came in or have come in recently, right? Best I can get to them. And so let's show them off and see how they go. Then I usually take them from here, make sure that they're scanned into my CLZ app or whatever it may be, do any kind of processing I need to do on the computer to catalog my books, and then they'll get put away, or they'll get put into the other cabinet, which we'll show off on another day, the Golden Age cabinet. All right, so first off, I was in Ashville, North Carolina recently with my wife. We took a trip. We went to go see the Biltmore, which was awesome. And I did take some footage of the gardens, so we'll take it. You can't film inside. So I took some footage of the gardens. I'll show that off at some point. But there was a comic shop. There were several comic shops in Asheville, North Carolina, actually. They were probably in the vicinity, like, I want to say it was like 4 or 5, which I think is a lot for a small, kind of smallish type city. And so I went to the one that had the best reviews and made mention of back issues. So a lot of them just said, you know, they're either modern books or, you know, or more into like gaming, you know, like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or something like that, or Funko Pops. And I'm really more interested in the comics, especially on a trip like this. And this wasn't supposed to be a trip about me or any of the stuff. This was more of a trip for my wife. So I didn't want to jump in and be like, oh, let's go to as many comic shops as we can. We go to enough trips that are about me and comic shops. So this one was about her. So, but I did talk her into letting me sneak into one shop, the best reviewed one, and we went in. We had a good time, and actually she was able to pick up a few gifts for some of her nephews and things like that. So, and for my son. So, but first off, check out this cool bag. So this was the bag that the comics came in, and I'm like, yeah, that's badass. Now, I didn't see anywhere where it makes mention of the actual shop. So I think these are more or less just kind of generic type bags, but it's just a paper bag, so not meant for long-term storage unless it's already in a bag and board, I suppose. But just really cool, like old-timey newspaper stuff. Oh, that was cool, man. I mean, I'm really digging it. Like, I'm this close. So in when I do my convention, which I have a convention coming up this weekend, and I'll sell a few books here and there, you know, doubles and stuff like that. So when I do a convention, I always hand out these bright blue bags so that people see them and ask where they got them. And at this next convention, maybe I'll pick up some of these because these are pretty cool. And I think it'd get a little bit of buzz going. Who knows? All right, so there's the bag. Next up, first book that I found there, you know I'm a sucker. Cave Woman one-shot special. I don't even see that it has any other type of name. But here's Cave Woman one-shot special. We'll do a nice little up close of that. Look at that. Heck yeah. So anytime I can pick up a cavewoman book, I do. This one was just $5, and it's a Devin Massey cover, and I really like this style of art from Devin Massey. He has a couple of different styles, but this kind of more cartoony style is my favorite. It reminds me of the old underground mags, like they used to have, you know, in New York when I was there. There'd be underground comics, and they looked a lot like this type of drawing, kind of 70-ish, kind of, you know, a little bit of whatever smoky tokey kind of stuff going on there. So there you go, Cavewoman one-shot special by Devin Massey. So we'll set that over here in the to be filed pile. Another Cavewoman book. This one's just a few bucks as well. This is Cavewoman Snow number 3. This will go in the mature readers drawer. So check that out. And that's nothing wrong with that. She looks a little cold, but I'd say she's headed somewhere fairly warm. So that's good, because I think I was missing this issue number 3. So this might complete my it's just a mini series, but it may complete my run. I'm hoping it does, and then I can go ahead and read it, because I like to wait till I have them all before I read them. I know I'm going to buy them anyway because they're cover buys. So, but the interior art's good too. But the point being that this one's, of course, this one's by Rob Durham, actually. But the point is, they're going to be cover buys. I'm going to buy them anyway, and I'm also going to enjoy reading them. So this way, I get to go ahead and wait until I have the whole story. I can still enjoy the covers, right? And then when it's time to read them, boom, I got the whole thing ready to go. Here's another book that I have... There was a time when I wanted to pick up this whole run, and then I didn't, because the prices start going crazy. And I already had number 1, which was the key to me to have. But it's The Cat, number 2. It says Beware the Cat, but the title is actually The Cat. So there's The Cat, number 2. Look at that. Just some great good girl art in these cats. So the first one has a Wally Wood and Marie Severin fixed cover. And then this one I don't think is by Wood. So, but it's very good. And I like it. It might just be a full Severin cover. I'm not sure. I'll check on that. But yeah, look at that. Great cat action. Great good girl art. Love this little, it's another mini series. But man, these books are always, honestly, the condition on this is fairly good. And I would say that this book, probably in the condition that it's in, would be like $25 or $30 in most shops. And this shop, she had it on sale for $15, and I could not pass it up at that price. So I went ahead. Old Bubsy's gonna snag that every time. Next up, we have, you guys know I'm a Greg Land fan. If you go through all my videos, you'll probably find more Adam Hughes, Greg Land, Wally Wood, just about peppered, and Dave Stevens, just about peppered through all my videos. This is no exception. Here we have a great She-Hulk by the amazing Greg Land. Greg Land's commission list is open right now as of the taping of this video. If it weren't for Heroes Con, I would jump on it. But Adam Hughes is going to be at Heroes Con, and I'd like to get something done by him. I'm trying to get on his commission list for Heroes Con, which I don't think is open yet. So I'm hoping to get one there. If I strike out and don't get a commission by Adam Hughes at Heroes Con this year, which is possible, because I don't just want a little head sketch. I mean, I have that already. I have plenty of signatures. I want a real good one, and I'm willing to pay for it. So if I can get that, then that's going to wipe out my original art budget for the year. But if he's unavailable, or I can't get one done, or I can't even just purchase one there, then I'm going to have Greg Land do a commission this year for me. And I'm trying to decide on the character. He probably does my favorite Spider-Woman, and he does my favorite Jean Grey, and he does my favorite Emma Frost, the White Queen, and he does my favorite She-Hulk of those still active. Like I would prefer a Byrne She-Hulk if I could get one, but as far as Greg Land's characters, those are my favorite characters that he draws. So here is a great She-Hulk example. He always does her with power, intensity, strength, yet she's athletic and demure at the same time. So that's really nice. I like that. it's a nice blend that he gives her, much like Byrne did as well. I always felt like he drew her with muscles, and yet she was still more athletic looking and not just like roided out like some of them have drawn her in the past. So there you go. She-Hulk. This is number 26 by Greg Land. All right, we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. We got a big one at the end here. Here is a nice Superman number 196. Now this is actually a reprint of a Golden Age book, which I have. So I'll have to pull that out and show you all, but there you go. There's Superman 196. I'll tell you what, I will pull out the Golden Age reprint, or the Golden Age original, and I'll put these side by side and I'll post it on Instagram for everybody to see when the video uploads. That way you can go there, just follow the link below or whatever. It's BUB'SWORLD 181, assuming I haven't changed it. There you go. So I collect doppelganger covers. So the Thing from 40,000 AD is, like I said, I already have the book that has that. So it'll be really cool to put these next to each other. It's a cover swipe, but it's more of an homage. It's not the exact art, but it's recreated, if you will, on this. So pretty cool. Got the Silver Age go-go checks going on there. Nobody's going to be too upset about that book being in their collection. Oh, look at this. Greg Land makes another appearance in The End. X-Men Book 1, The End, Dreamers and Demons. There you go. I also like Greg Land's work with Wolverine, too. I think Adam Hughes does my favorite females in female form, although they tend to look often alike, but I still like the way they look, right? But I don't care for the way that he draws men. And Greg Land, I feel like, does the best of drawing both. He's a nice middle ground. Frank Cho really draws women really well. He does men okay, but he doesn't really even bother to do very many men. So I think Greg Land is my good middle ground between all that, where he can do any character well. There you go. All right, last and definitely not least, we got old Slab here. It's a Golden Age Slab. It's an upgrade to a book that I already have, but this one is way better, and you'll see why. Although, color-wise, I think the other one might be better. But here we go. It's a little sun-faded. It's a 2.0. Off goes the bags. Here we have Planet Comics number 57. And you can see there's a little rip out at the top. This one is tough to get a hold of, a little bit of staining on the far edge. Nice girl running away. She actually is wearing a red dress originally. So this is tied for like my second most sun-faded book in my Planet Comics run, which I also have secured. But this one goes for a lot because there's actually people who collect this based on like this being some sort of phallic symbol. So there's people who actually collect this book just because of that. And so it makes it harder to get. So I have another copy of it. Again, I'll do the same thing with the Superman book. I will post this with the better copy, if you will. The problem with the other copy, and I'll give you a real short story with it, is that the other copy of this book that I obtained, I got it from eBay. And honestly, it was the last book I ever bought on eBay because of this story. But I bought it from eBay about a year ago, and it looked great. The cover was great. I was really excited. I got a good deal on it at the time. These books have gone up since then. So at the time, it was a good deal. I was happy with it. Not a great deal, but a good deal. And I needed to try and complete this run I'm working on. And I got the book, and the entire interior was a different book. It was a different Planet Comics book. So at that point, I was obviously pretty upset. So I worked with the seller. They worked with me. They offered a full refund if I wanted to return it. But really, I already know it's tough to get this book. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just keep the cover. So I was willing to pay what just the cover would be worth. We settled on that, and that's how it ended. So I had the book with the wrong interior. And you say, Bubsy, how do they not know that? Well, on these books, the indicia that tells you everything, all the publishing information and everything like that, it's on the inside cover of the book. So it's not printed on the actual interior book part. It's on the inside of the cover. So as long as you have the cover, you could throw any book in there and most people aren't going to know the difference. I happen to research these things when I get them from eBay and count pages and everything to make sure I didn't get screwed, if you will, right? So when I did that, I quickly discovered that it was the wrong book. But there's a good chance the seller did not know that. But here we have a complete copy of the books and in a 2.0. I'm very pleased with that. So I have a well-presenting cover, if you will, and now I have this complete edition. And this, thankfully, put me in the registry. I am already on the Planet Comics registry. I'm active in that registry, trying to get a complete low-grade set, which probably won't crack me in the top 10. Even if I get the completed set, I probably won't make it to the top 10. But this book cracked me into the top 30, which is that was a goal that I had for this year, was to move into the top 30, and ultimately I'd like to be into the top 20 when I finish my collection and have it all. Because a lot of the people on there that are higher up than me on there, I know for a fact, because I know these guys, they don't have those books anymore. The registry kind of remains stagnant. After you complete your collection, unless someone comes and tries to put that same book certificate number under theirs, that's the only way, and then there can be a dispute and you can say, no, I sold that book, it's no problem. But they'll alert you and you can say, wait, I still have that book, and then they might have you prove it or something. I don't know how much they get into it, but all I know is a lot of the people that are in the top 10 don't even have their books anymore. And a lot of them also, they are like, they're winning the registry with like one book. They have one book and they're winning the registry because it's such a high grade, low print run, old book, like the oldest book in the series, and they have like a 9.0. Well, that's enough points as far as the registry goes. That's a whole nother story. But crack the top 30 with this one. This puts me at, I think, number 30, maybe 29th or something like that. But I finally did it, and I got a few more books that I'm going to be sending off to CGC. Actually, I'm going to do some on-site grading at Heroes Con this year at CGC with some more Planet Comics. So maybe we crack into somewhere around the top 26, top 25. That would be huge. So for me personally, I know it's a gimmick. I know it's a cash grab, but it doesn't cost me any extra if I'm going to get these books graded anyway. And all it does is make sure that I grade them with CGC instead of with CBCS. And for that, whatever. They give me the fun of the registry. So there you go. All right, everybody. Well, that's my haul. Big upgrade for me right here. And this was like a birthday gift because my folks sent me a gift certificate to mycomicshop.com, and I was able to snag this beauty on there as soon as it came available. I bought it. And I actually worked the seller down just a little bit on it, so a little negotiation goes a long way. So there you go. That's it. I hope you all enjoyed that. We'll catch you next time in Bub's World. Remember to read a comic and don't apologize for the glare. Bye-bye.
Now subscribe, you egg-sucking pieces of gutter trash. Now.